completely blue state of Texas. So
the completely blue state of Texas. Yeah. So how much snow have you guys gotten?
It's going to start again tonight, supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it let up today. It didn't, but it's supposed to start back here pretty much any minute. So we'll see.
Yeah, we ended up getting over the last couple of days, we got over a foot. I mean, today was nice. It was, well, I should say it's nice. It was sunny and 20 degrees. So it's much better than the last couple of days, but we're supposed to get another 4 inches tonight and maybe some more tomorrow. So there's no telling.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's great. We had a good time though. We've had a good time with it. The dog has loved it. She has really enjoyed the snow. And all of that, but trying to go into here and make sure that I've got everything set up. So what's going on with you? Everything good? You can saw you put out some snow pictures of a rifle today. That was pretty kind of cool.
Yeah, I did. I did a couple. I think I did a couple of rifles and a pistol or something. Figured I would take advantage. It's a pretty good backdrop and all of that, and who knows how long before I can take pictures of my guns in the snow. It may be decades before I'm able to do it again, so why not?
This is true. See our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates out there. Guys, if you want to call or text in, yes, you can call in if you'd like, and we might be utilizing that later in the show. Feel free to do that on the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at the Gun Cleaners. That phone number is 530-364-4678. Scrolling down there. And if you are a veteran, anyone really, but especially if you're a veteran and you find yourself in that dark hole and looking for some help, need someone to talk to, first of all, feel free to contact me anytime, any place, 24/7. My contact info is out there. Wherever you can get a hold of me, email me, text me, call me, whatever. I can't give you medical advice, but I can probably help you be a good listener and maybe talk you through some stuff. But if you are looking for someone that can point you in the direction of some medical help, 2 things to remember. First, you're not alone. By far, you're not alone. And 2, the world is a much better place with you in it. So contact the Veteran Crisis Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255 is a Veteran Crisis Hotline. And if for some ungodly reason that you guys are interested in learning more about what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, please visit their website, marines.com. So, yeah, what we did is yesterday I went out in our property from our house goes in a steep hill down to a creek and a big pond. We call it a lake, but it's about a 50-acre pond. And we're lucky that we have a waterfall on our property. And it's usually pretty nice, but during the wintertime, especially if it's like this and it's frozen, it becomes a frozen waterfall. And I haven't been down there in a while because it's been a while since we've been this cold. But I went down there yesterday and took some pictures and shot a video. And if you're a patron of mine, then that video is over there. There's actually 2 videos over there for patrons to get a sneak peek. One of them will release Thursday. It's the latest episode of the Jarhead podcast. And the other one will be released Saturday, I believe. Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember when I scheduled it, but it'll be released Saturday or Sunday. And so you guys, if you're patrons or channel members, both those videos are over there for you guys to look at. So, yeah. It's like I said, it's been pretty cool. We've been having fun with the dog. And, my wife is an island girl. She is not too keen on the weather the last couple of days, but it is what it is, and all that. But we did have some fun. We got a couple more days of fun. Probably it's kind of weird when you're sitting at home and you're not used to sitting at home a lot. I'm never at home hardly, but it is weird trying to figure out what to do. If there's shows to watch, movies to watch, what can you do? And so what have you been doing to kind of keep yourself from going crazy, Clove?
I don't know. That's a good question. Thankfully, I've still got electricity. I've still got internet. I mean, I've watched a little bit of TV, not much.
Yeah.
Nothing new. watched retro stuff. Watched the first and second Iron Man. Watched the first Captain America. Can't remember what else, but yeah, between that and just need to be working on some Gear Report articles, but have worked on some other stuff with the channel and some behind the scenes stuff with the websites. Tomorrow, I got a couple podcasts to record live tomorrow morning, which will be kind of fun. But yeah,
I just got. I think you just put that on Patreon, didn't you? So I just got a notification not too long ago about that.
Yeah, I kind of put it out there on the community tab on YouTube and over on the Patreon because those podcasts, I record them live, but all of that's random now. So just whenever the guest is able to do it is when they happen. And so both of those are tomorrow morning. So if anybody's around tomorrow morning, got a couple of hours of content. And if kind of like here in every live that we have, if you're out there in the live chat, you can ask questions and, of course, relevant questions that are on topic. But
I guess they can ask any question they want. Whether or not you acknowledge those questions is depending on if they're relevant or not.
I mean, I've got Keith with EAA, and then I've got Laura Smith with the Liberal Gun Club. And so, if somebody puts a question out there like asking Keith what he thinks about the moon landing, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to ask that question. That's a waste of the guest's time. We can go down those rabbit holes any Monday night. So let's not waste our time with guests for that kind of nonsense. But if they want to know the newest firearms from Gerson or Tenfoglio or whoever, then that would be relevant.
There you go. Yeah, we were doing about movies. We were watching. Oh man, something popped up, and that's what it was. I saw that, and I didn't know this was out there. I guess a year or two ago, a couple years ago, I guess. A Rambo movie came out, and I can't remember. I think it might just be called Rambo, maybe. Or
the one where he's on in like West Texas or whatever, or Arizona.
Yeah. It was called Rambo: Last Blood, and I was like, oh snap! So I watched it.
That's rough. It's rough, man. That's rough.
It is.
It's a lot more like the other ones. I mean, First Blood, kind of that way, like the very first one.
Yeah.
Great movie, even better book.
Right. Yep.
But then when you get into the second one and the third one, and then however many, there's been several, right? They're kind of over the top, and it's just your standard issue action movies, right? Really. But man, that Last Blood is just it's rough. And I mean, it's like it hits home. It's a lot more realistic, than
especially if you have a dog
fake pseudo war and stuff. Is that's kind of fantasy in a way. A lot of that, but man, when you're talking about real life scenarios and you're talking about the drug cartels, and it's just, it's tough, man.
It is tough. So I want to address something that's going out there. A lot of lies and fake news going out there. So Gary asks, who's taller, Ghost or Clover? Well, I am by about an inch. I believe of the three of us, I think Gizzard, Gary, myself, and Clover, depending on what shoes are being worn, are probably all about the same height. But I think I've got them by about an inch or half an inch.
It totally depends on the shoe choice. It really does.
Yeah. So I watched Last Blood, and you're right. It was definitely the most intense as far as the storyline. But I went back and watched, because I hadn't seen the other ones in a while. I went back and watched First Blood, then Rambo 2, or it was Rambo. It's called First Blood, but it was Rambo 2, Rambo 3. Now, Rambo 3 was probably like the most graphic. I mean, it had some graphic stuff in there. That was kind of like over the top. I loved 1 and 2. I like all of it. 1 and 2. 1's phenomenal. 2 I thought was still pretty good. But yeah, The Last Blood, I was really skeptical. Like, do I really want to watch an old ass Rambo? It was good, but like if you've got a daughter, oh my god, yeah.
One of the best, I think. You take the action movie genre, for example. One of the best last 15 minutes or so we'll call it the end scene, right? One of the best in an action movie ever. I mean,
yeah.
just insane. There's so much going on. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But Rambo is the fourth one. And I kind of like.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Rambo First Blood Part 2, but the actual just Rambo was number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rambo 3, and then just
Rambo.
Yeah.
And then
the first. What is it? It was something else. It was Rambo the first something.
Yeah. Well, the first one was called First Blood, and then the second was called Rambo First Blood Part 2. Mm-hmm. And then I think the third was just like Rambo 3 or something. I don't think it had anything besides like Rambo 3 or something. And
no, okay, it may have just been a tagline under it, but I thought it was like the fight continues or the something. But that may have just been like a tagline under it. So you may be right. Yeah. But yeah, that's the one. He uses the bow a lot, and the bow he's got in that is awesome. It's awesome. And then he's also with that other team. And I think there's a 50 BMG in that, isn't there? Like one of the guys is like a sniper with the 50 BMG. That's some pretty cool scenes. And, but oh man, some of the scenes with him and that bow, just unbelievable in that movie. That's some pretty cool stuff. If you're into archery and stuff.
Talking about the Last Blood, the last one.
Talking about the.
There's some pretty cool. There's some pretty cool bow stuff in the Last Blood too.
Well, that's true. There is. That's true. There is. But the Rambo one, there's some the bow he has in the Rambo movie, the fourth one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the fourth one. The bow he has is one of the things that's really awesome. It's sweet. Right. I mean, rivals maybe Hawkeye's bow, maybe comes close to the Arrow, a couple of superhero bows that I'm really fond of, and the one I don't recall off the top of my head what bow it is, but he's got a pretty sweet bow in that one for sure.
Jacob says, I have yet to watch Last Blood. What in the hell's wrong with you, man? So Warsaw said, who's better, Frank Castle or Rambo? The Punisher versus Rambo.
Yeah,
Rambo. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I like the Punisher series on Netflix. I do. I think that they do a good job with it. And it's hard for me to say a Green Beret is better than a the ultimate. I mean, the character of Rambo, it doesn't compare.
Yeah, Rambo, I think when you get into the experience, right, you start diving back into experience, and it's like, you just don't see, I don't know. Anybody ever seen the Punisher with a bow? And I mean, if you're stealthy and you got a bow, but the Punisher's done, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going through here. I think that's pretty much
because an arrow really doesn't care about body armor. I mean, there's been archers that have put down Knights of the Round Table and all that mess for many, many thousands of years. That arrow does not care.
Yeah, and Rich is right. Rich is right. Holy cow! See that 10 times fast. There are many different storylines of the background of Frank Castle. In the Netflix series, he was a Marine, but in other versions, he wasn't special forces and all that. So it's just kind of it's kind of like the Batman. Like for me, and Batman is my favorite superhero, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, well, for me, I love Batman and I love Iron Man. And the reason I like it is because it's a normal person that, given the funding, right? It's like you could actually be that superhero.
Right.
You don't have to get bit by a spider. You don't have to come from some, other planet or galaxy or whatever.
Yeah. The problem that I have with Batman is, once again, everyone knows, I think most people know this. I don't read comics. I've never read a comic in my life. So I don't know like what the original comics say about all this. But if you just watch the umpteen different Batman movies, when it comes down to two different things, how his parents died and the Joker, like every movie, there's something different as to the storyline. There's no consistent storyline of who killed his parents. Was it the Joker? How the Joker came to be? That's one thing that's frustrating for me is watching the movies is the Joker is just as important to the history of Batman and the story of Batman as Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
But yet it seems so weird that they're always changing the background of Joker and the background of how Bruce Wayne's dad and parents died. That's one thing that really gets me. And I know we're going down some rabbit holes. I'm sorry, but this is a free for all because we're going to do something here in the next few minutes that's going to make up for it. So, and all that. So Jacob says, who would win? Sylvester Stallone in his prime versus Rambo. Huh?
Sylvester in his prime
versus Rambo.
I mean, like Rocky versus Rambo or what? Huh?
I'm going to say Rambo wins.
So
pretty much anything.
I want to talking about Frank Castle, right? So we got to go. Let's go beyond like military.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I don't want to necessarily get into that argument. You're more suited to talk about which one would be better, right? But if you move back, like Rambo has a history with like Indians, and that's where he learned to shoot the bow and grew up on a farm, and you had hunting, and you had, you know, having to move stealthily, and you had all of this stuff that he like grew up with, right? He was like a country boy, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know Frank Castle's story. Was he just like a city dude that went into the Marines, or does he have some type of a rural background in some type of stuff? I don't know that.
The only background that I've been able to, once again, I don't read comics. I don't know all that. The only background that I'm aware of when it comes to Frank Castle is former Marine. Mm-hmm. And people murdered his wife and his family.
Yeah, like before he's grown up.
But I have nothing. I have no idea prior to that what the story of Frank Castle. Not that I know of. Maybe someone out there does, but I don't either. I have no idea.
Yeah, if somebody knows origins, that would be an interesting comparison, right? Because I think ultimately that's where Rambo takes the Punisher. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Punisher has some kind of a lifelong background that would be comparable.
Yeah. So G's got great taste. He says Rambo. I think it's. I don't even think. I think it's a no-brainer. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Now Gary has a good point. He said, "What happened between young Bruce Wayne and Batman? Did he go to community college or what?" That's a great question. Don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't read any of the comic books and all that, so I really don't have any idea.
Well, when you're a basically a billionaire kid, right?
Yeah, you don't have to do anything if you don't want.
You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. So I mean, if you want to learn, the innermost workings of physics, right? I mean, you don't even got to go to college at that point. When you're a billionaire, all you've got to do is get on the phone and hire your own private physics tutor, or whatever, right?
No doubt. So I was going to bring, that's what it was. So I was watching, went back, and it's been a while. It's probably been 10 years since I've seen First Blood. I mean, it's one of those that it just, you don't watch it a whole, it doesn't pop up in your mind, but every time you watch, like, damn, that's a great movie,
Yeah.
And it was so funny because two movies that I grew up watching that I loved also had a common denominator. And Brian Dennehy played the asshole sheriff in First Blood. He also played the asshole sheriff in Silverado, another great movie that I loved growing up.
Yep.
I'm thinking, is he just like typecasted as the asshole sheriff? Because he plays He plays an asshole sheriff, whether it's a Western or up in Oregon. Right. He plays a great asshole sheriff.
I've always thought Brian Dennehy was a decent actor, a really good character actor. He's versatile, right? There's one reason I'm going to get crucified. There's some people out there that don't know this. Most of you have probably heard me say this before. Never seen a John Wick film. Never. My problem
I watched John Wick 3 last night, as a matter of fact.
My problem is Keanu Reeves, man. He's one of those actors that typecast. He is Bill or Ted. I'm sorry. He will always be Ted. That's the way he looks. That's the way he talks. That's the way he acts. I don't care if it's the lake house. I don't care what he's in, right? Point Break. I don't care what he's in. He looks and he mannerisms, and he's not a character actor, right? He's just not. He's a guy that they put in certain roles, and he acts. He's an actor, but he's just not good at bringing certain characters to life. And maybe he does it with John Wick. Maybe he fits that role. I know he spent a lot of time with Taryn and the team and all this other stuff. So maybe, and I said something to my wife the other day. I'm like, if it was on Netflix or Hulu or something, especially right now that I got some downtime, I would watch the John Wick movies just so I would have a frame of reference on it, right? I would tough through them. But I'm telling you, I just can't. He's one of those actors that, and what I'm getting at is Brian Dennehy, not one of those type of actors to me.
Right. No, I see where you're coming from with Keanu Reeves, and I'm not a huge fan of all of his movies. I liked the first Matrix. Second was okay. The third one,
the story got crazy with the Matrix.
They started making it to make money. I mean, that you can tell that the first one came out and it was like, oh man, that's badass. Yeah. But anyways, John Wick, all three of them are phenomenal. There's another one coming out. There's a new Matrix movie coming out too. I will say this, talking to someone that has been around him and then also reading a bunch of stuff about him, is one of the nicest, if not the nicest person in Hollywood. That a bunch of people say that truly like one of the greatest human beings alive, just truly nice guy. I read an article about him when they were filming the new Matrix movie. He's going to make $20-some-odd million a year. Then COVID happened, and they were going to have to stop production and let go a bunch of the crew and all of that. And he gave up half of his salary from Matrix and part of his what do they call them, not stock, but he gets the revenue from the box office and all that. He
royalties or whatever.
Royalties, yes. He gave a portion of his royalties and half of his salary for that movie back to the production company if they promised that they would not let go the crew. Whether they were working or not, they were going to get paid. And he gave up like over $10 million to do that. Wow. That's pretty. I know that he doesn't need the money and all that, but still, $10 million just given up away is pretty remarkable. So I've heard a lot of great things about him. You need to go watch John Wick movies. He does play that role remarkably well. I
get a little iffy when people say he doesn't need the money. It's like I'd get pissed if somebody said that about me.
Well, no, what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
A lot of money, but
I know what you mean. I know what you meant. I'm just saying
he gave up $10 million.
There's something that just gets in my crawl when somebody says something like that, and I get exactly where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, who the heck are you?
He should need the money.
Who the heck are you to tell me what I do and don't need? I mean,
right.
Because think about it. If you think about it, there's people out there that I could sit here and say, there's probably people in the chat, I could probably even say it about you to an extent that, Ghost don't need this or he don't need that. Well, you don't, but the other thing, you don't if you were living my lifestyle. But the problem is you're not living my lifestyle. So what you do and don't require is totally different.
Need is an interesting word. It's a very tricky word, need, that word need. So Revolver out there says your favorite war movie, Black Hawk Down and Saving Private Ryan are his top two.
Oh, that's two good ones.
Those are good ones. I would say that neither one were my favorite, not even close. I will say as far as the realistic of obviously not being there, but I would have to say that the first 10 minutes of Saving Private Ryan is probably the most intense World War II scene of the Omaha landing that I've ever seen. Hands down. That was amazing. If it comes down to war movies, I mean, there's so many, so many. What's
the one with the medic that kept climbing the hill or whatever? It was.
Yeah, that's over in Okinawa. That was Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Okinawa, yeah.
It was like the one little guy that saved all the freaking people. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Lone Survivor, unbelievable movie.
Right.
Unbelievable movie.
American Sniper, the
American
book's
Sniper
better.
is okay. I would
The
agree.
book is almost comical.
Yeah.
And I wish they would have I wish they would have leaned more into that with, and I don't know why they didn't, but I wish they would have leaned more into that with the movie. But the book, oh my God, it was. I mean, he actually would giggle and laugh about some of the crazy shots he pulled off and other things like, how the heck did I do that? Right. And the movie kind of portrayed that he expected to, you know what I'm saying, to make that shot, or that he was so skilled that was just, there was no luck involved at all. And in the book, I mean, he's point blank says in the book, he's like, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Snowy says, anyone seen Mile 22? Love that movie except for the ending. Mark Wahlberg did a great job in that. Great movie. Terrible ending.
Who would have ever thought? Mark Wahlberg has been in some pretty decent films.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Who would have ever thought? Marky Mark. Come on,
Marky
man.
Mark,
Really?
The Funky Bunch. My favorite Mark Wahlberg movie is Four Brothers. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's a great movie.
I have. I don't remember much of it, but I have. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Another good movie. This is going to be weird because I watch war movies and all of that, probably like how you watch Marvel movies and all that. Knowing the backgrounds of comics, especially like Star Wars, you know all the ins and outs about the old Star Wars comics and cartoon, whatever they're called, and all of that. So you're watching Mandalorian on a different level than I am. But I'm watching kind of war and combat movies probably differently than some people are.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible acting movie. Okay. And when I first saw it, I was like, that is just god awful. And then I found out why it was so god awful. There is a movie called Act of Valor.
Uh-huh.
And the movie is a good movie. The acting in it is horrible, terrible. But I found out why, because they actually used active duty SEALs for the characters. They weren't actors. They were active duty SEALs to play those roles, and that's why they actually. But technically, everything they did was they're still good technically. Well, that's why they're freaking actually really, really good. Real SEALs.
So one of the best scenes ever, we're talking about military movies or whatever, one of the best scenes ever, Act of Valor, when they're bringing in the gunboats to pick those dudes up and they light up those. Oh my God, that's one of the best scenes ever in the movie.
They come around that little curve in the river.
Oh God, yeah, just light it up, baby.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. You're like, oh, I want one of those boats so bad.
Oh man, but yeah. Yeah, but that's another. Like I said, I watched 13 Hours is a great movie, not necessarily a military movie. Very, very intense movie. And there's just so many good ones out there. There really are. You can go back to some of the John Wayne stuff that were unbelievable, but I really don't have a favorite one. So
yeah, there's some stuff you go back and watch and you're like, that holds up, and it's pleasing. I mean, I went back, like I said, and especially the first Iron Man, it holds up, man. It holds up. You could release that movie today, storyline. I don't know if changing to another actor. I don't know if you could ever make it happen. And I miss Don Cheadle. John Cheadle will forever be Rhodey in War Machine. They had Cuba Gooding Jr. was Rhodey in that one, and horrible acting choice of actors.
Cuba fan, yeah.
I think horrible choice. He's done all right in a few different movies, but horrible choice. Like I said, Rhodey just made that. I mean, Cheadle made that role once he was given the part. So that's the only thing you got to kind of get over in hindsight, right? Having seen all the other ones, but. Even with that, if you take it in its context as a standalone movie, you're like, wow, that's great. It's good stuff.
Now, obviously, they bring up Full Metal Jacket. Also, especially the first half of it.
I was going to say best first half or so of a movie for sure. Very hard to get through. I'm just being honest. Very hard to get through after Arlie Ermy.
After he leaves boot camp, it's an okay movie, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Apocalypse Now. really good movie. I remember, and why I was allowed to go early in my life, I don't know, but my dad took me to see Platoon when it first came out in the theaters. And I remember loving it, and I still do. I think that's one of the most intense movies I've ever seen in my life, any genre. But that was the very first, and honestly, it might be the only movie that I remember that literally, when the movie was over, like no one moved in the entire theater. They just sat there, and they were just like, "Holy shit, what did we just see?" Right. And that was weird for me because I was a young kid, and I was like, "What's going on?" And no one moved. There were people crying. And it was just like, oh my God. Like I was a young kid, so I didn't really understand all of it. I just understood that literally no one in the theater moved for about 5 or 10 minutes. And I was just like, oh, this is weird. But that was my experience with Platoon. Great movie.
The cast alone.
Oh my God. Yes.
Amazing cast.
All right. So Jesse says, we're getting ready to jump into some fun stuff here, but Jesse says,
"Oh, we may not because
man,
there you go."
What's that?
Yeah, you roboted and locked up there for a few seconds. We heard Jesse says, and then that's it.
Oh, Jesse says favorite.
Clint Eastwood movie. Favorite Eastwood.
And it's just hard. I would say, oh my God. The Good, Bad, the Ugly. I mean, I'm going to name 3 of them. I'm going to name 3 of them because I don't know if I could really do Fistful of Dollars, Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Gran Torino's up there.
Well, I was thinking old Clint Eastwood, but Gran Torino's up there too, for sure.
What about Bridges over Madison County?
My wife just texted me. Obviously, she could hear me from outside the office. My wife just she says, "Gran Torino, get off my lawn!" Right, great one.
Zipperhead.
Sons of Katie Elder was another great one, but yeah, there's just so many. I mean, it's like
my wife mentioned one,
and Clint Eastwood and John Wayne. Like, how can you pick your favorite? You know.
So I forgot what we were watching, and my wife mentioned one. What was we watching? I can't remember now what we were watching. And my wife mentioned it, and you see Clint Eastwood, so it ties in. Oh, Tommy Lee Jones. We were watching Captain America, and Tommy Lee Jones is in that, of course.
Yeah.
Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboys might be one of the funny, and I love, and Tommy Lee's great, Clint's great. James
it's a great
Garner,
cast.
It is. James Garner, I crack up with James Garner in that.
And Donald Sutherland too, man, being the ladies' man. Oh my God!
If you've ever seen Space Cowboys, you want a good laugh, just go find it somewhere.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a good movie.
And we didn't even bring up Dirty Harry. Holy hell, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're not going to keep going down these rabbit holes. We actually have some stuff we want to get done. So here we go. So over the weekend, we eclipsed 25,000 subscribers. So first of all, thank you for everyone that,
woohoo. And he said
3.5 years ago, huh?
You said, thank you, everyone. And then you cut out.
Oh, so I think there's just ice on the towers.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone that's been there, especially from the very beginning, 3.5 years ago. I think June or July of 2017 is when we started, and all of that. And Clover knows about this, but I started putting together some stuff about a month or so ago when I realized that I'll be coming up on it here relatively soon. And Heartbreak Ridge, hell yeah, I forgot about Heartbreak Ridge. How can you not remember Heartbreak Ridge? Squirrel, sorry. We're gonna do some giveaways, and we've got a bunch of giveaways to do, and we're gonna do it a little bit differently though. So what we're gonna do is Hans is out there. What's up, Hans? We're on the Facebook side. So what we're gonna do with the giveaways, we've got a bunch of different stuff to give away and celebrating 25K. But we're going to answer some trivia questions, but you're not going to know what you win until after you win. So I'm not going to say, hey, okay, this is for this item. Here's the question. And when you get done, whoever wins, then you'll find out what you win. So Sarge says 42. Nope, it's not going to win.
It's kind of like we got to pass the bill before we can know what's in it. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes. And hopefully you can help me look out there.
Yeah, I brought up, I'm switching over to live chat now so I can.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to do right now, is make sure I'm on live. But I'm going to put the question with the packages, the question and the answer. So the first question is, what are the two main pieces of protection shooters should always use? First person we see out there in the live chat is going to win something.
Well, obviously, like a slicker suit probably be number one, I think.
Yeah, Grim says crayons. All right, so Sarge wins. On my side, Sarge came in first with eyes and ears.
I confirm that.
All right, so Sarge, email me. I probably got it, but just email me address. Sarge, you're going to win a Venture Gear tactical package with Venture Gear ears, eyes,
and ears. Yeah,
eyes, ears, and a hat. So the Venture Gear tactical, you're going to win eyes, ears, and a hat from Venture Gear. So send me your email with your address and all that. I probably have it, but just in case, send it to me. And I'm going to put over here so I can keep them track. So
some of them out there's got lag time. That sucks. You're just going to have to be clairvoyant, folks.
Yeah, it does suck, man. I know, but I guess that's what pays to have decent internet sometimes,
I'll tell you what, right now, though, what might help is to refresh before he asks the question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good idea.
That could potentially help. That way it won't get rid of all the lag, but may get rid of some of it. Just try to help.
Yep, that's right.
Gizzard said shirts and pants. I do think they may be more important than eyes and ears, honestly.
This is true. I don't know. It depends on if you're trying to get views or not.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Can't get no views wearing shirts and pants. Come on, man.
That's right.
Got to wear shorty shorts and bikinis and stuff.
Apparently.
Gizzard, we know he does that all the time, though. He's an attention whore like that. He goes out shirtless all the time to the range.
And Midnight says it must have been close. It was close, and it came up right there. But Sarge is ahead of Midnight. But they all came. Him, Midnight, and Patriot all came in really quickly.
So I want Midnight just to shut his mouth, because he wants to complain about winning, but then when he freaking wins, he don't want to take the prize he wins. So,
he wins a gun and won't even give you an FFF.
Right. So he just needs to shut up. I don't want to hear him complain, because it wouldn't matter. He would have won and then go, oh no, give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else. I'm like, why even complain, bro? If you're gonna just give it to somebody else, Come on.
Exactly. All right. So the second thing that we're going to give away, the question for this, you might actually have to go on the internet for a second, and I doubt there's only probably one person that's been out in the chat. What years, and we're talking about our good friends, the gun cleaners, over at theguncleaners.com. But what year was the gun cleaners established? What year was the gun cleaners established? This might take a few minutes. They might have to go over the internet and do some research, because if Rod's out there, he's the only one that I know that will. There's some good guesses out there, some close ones.
It's close
for sure. They're just typing in numbers at this point. I don't think they're
boom.
Oh, boom. Rod says, I know. Do you see the person right above Rod?
Yep, I do. That's what I see.
Okay. So it looks like Jesse, the Gunpowder Beauty. Jesse, you're going to win a gun cleaners package of cleaners, the lube and the solvent and all some good stuff. And that's going to be going your way. I mean, make a note in here that Jesse wins the gun cleaners. Okay, so yeah, there's a bunch of 2011s now. Yep. So Jesse wins. Congratulations, dear. Congratulations. So that is 2 that are gone. All righty. So this next one, let me put this in the chat, Clover.
All right.
There we go. So the next question for the giveaway. Hope you guys are enjoying this. We're giving away some cool free stuff, man. So which self-loading pistol established the parabellum round as the world standard? Which self-loading pistol established the parabellum round as the world standard?
Got to be the High Point, right?
I want to say the High Point would probably maybe the Jimenez. Okay, holy hell! Did you see who I get?
That was close. Let me double check a couple of things, but
okay,
I think the Weiner pulled it out.
Midnight came up first on my list.
Yeah, I've looked through all. Yeah, he's 3 for 3. Yeah.
Okay, so Midnight Range. If you want it, if you don't, I don't care. You can give it to someone else. But from Pinty, we'll give you a red dot. I'm going to give you a red dot from Pinty. Never been used. I'm going to give you a red dot. So email me. If you guys are winners, my email address is in the description. If you win, just make sure you send me your address. The 3 of you guys, or 2 guys and a gal, I should say. Send me your email and with your address, and I'll make sure you get it. So let me go over here and say, God, Midnight Range TM wins that. That would kind of suck, honestly. All right. So let me put this next question in here for Clover to help me out. So far, it's going pretty smooth. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy this. We're just giving some free stuff away. I really do appreciate everyone. And Midnight's crying again. He wins. If you don't want the red dot, give it to somebody else. It's all good. I don't care at this point. I'm sending it to you, and what you do with it makes no difference to me. All right. So the next question is, what causes night sights to have their glow? What causes night sights to have their glow?
Probably vibranium. Got to be.
Yeah.
Uranium 262, maybe.
I want to say the Black Panther, didn't he come up with it? Well, I
don't know that abbreviating that was a smart move. I would go DJ.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to DJ too. Because Midnight's already won anyway. So DJ Tritium, and I don't even know how to spell it right.
Well, he's tried to give the other red dot away. So it's not like he wants it anyway.
Well, then he can, you know what? Screw him then.
Well, you should have just had Midnight on the show, and he could have just randomly gave the prizes away to people. That's what
he's got a link. He's got a link. He can jump.
Killing.
Yeah. This is the guy, the only one that I know. Midnight says Jacob S needs a red dot. Let him have it. Sounds good to me. So Jacob, send me an email with your address, and I will get you that red dot. Now, DJ Play Nice is out there. It says Tritium. So DJ, where is it? I must have had it. No, right here. So
he's got to dig it out of the garbage first. Hang on.
Yeah, it's a Reflex sight. So get a Reflex sight. If you guys, so DJ,
that's really similar. That looks a lot like the one that's on that Gerson shotgun I've got.
This is a Fiachi. It's a Fiachi, so I don't know.
Well, we all know with those style sights, there's one company that makes them and puts 10,000 names on them apparently.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Jacob, like I said, you get the red dot. Email me. Emails in the description. DJ Play Nice. Sarge says you have to spell it correctly. Dude, I can't spell it correctly. So, but no, DJ Play Nice is going to get the Reflex. So email me, DJ, and you're going to get that Reflex sight. Let me go here and just put DJ Play. I'm keeping track. So that I know. Okay. So the next question, hope you guys once again are having fun out there. The next question is going into the back room there, Clover. So the next question is, which submachine gun is nicknamed the Chicago Typewriter?
Wow,
Which submachine gun? It should be easy. Guys, we're trying to give this stuff away, so I'm not going to make it too difficult. You know,
oh, that one's easy.
Pete says he needs an optic. What do you need, buddy? I can probably get you one.
That's what I just asked him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Midnight and DJ both got it, but they've already won. So I'm going to go with Snowy. Is that the first one you see that hasn't won already?
And Snowy also is the answer that you had in the side chat here.
Well, yes, the Thompson, but the Tommy gun, whichever I would have taken, whichever. But yes,
that's great. But
Tommy gun.
You know, I've got a Thompson sitting over here that's not a Tommy gun.
This is true.
Just saying.
Right. So I'm going to give this to Snowy since DJ and Midnight have already won something. Snowy is going to win. Let me go over here. Now, he may not want this, but you're going to get a Ghost Tactical t-shirt. I know it's probably, that's a big letdown. People are getting red dots and all this shit. I'm getting a damn t-shirt. If you want a t-shirt, Snowy, what you need to do is email me address, favorite color, and size of a t-shirt, and I'll get it sent out to you. So if you don't want it, let me know also. But, don't tell me. You can give it to someone else. No more trades. No more dirty Santas and all that. So, Snowy, send me an email with your size, color, and your address. Midnight says that wouldn't have fit me anyways. Pink says, does Ghost Tactical come with it? My wife would probably give me up. That's no doubt about that. And I'd probably fit in that box too. So, yeah, I might. That's all that. Refresh, everybody. Refresh. All right. We're going to get some cool stuff coming. Not that other stuff wasn't cool, but there's some other stuff coming down the line. So there you go, Clover. So the next question is, how is a submachine gun different from a regular machine gun? How is a submachine gun different from a regular machine gun?
It's used for missions in the subway.
This is true. Yeah. Finally got one. You see, Pat, is that first on you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that come up first for you?
I'm double checking. Yeah.
Okay, so Pat Hurst, pistol caliber ammo. Yeah, pistol caliber ammo. So Pat Hirsch, you are going to win an Endomag from Mean Arms. And if you're not familiar what that is, then it is some bitch.
Broken now, apparently.
Yeah, it's broken. Yeah. You're not going to get this one. You're going to get a new one, but I'm going to show you what I'm on.
They've got a lifetime warranty, though, so you're good.
They do. Take an AR normal mag, and it turns it into shooting 9mm. By using it's basically a spring assembly, change it in, and then it be able to shoot 9 out of your normal AR-15 magazine and lower. So if you have like a 9mm upper and you don't have a lower for some reason, or you don't have a Glock, whatever mag or whatever, this will shoot out of a normal AR-15 lower, attach your 9mm upper to it, good to go. So you're going to get Endomag from Mean Arms. Let's see here. I'm going to go over here and put, that was Pat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got four more things. Okay. So I'll put the next one over here into the side chat. All right. So the next question, am I missing anything out there that I need to bring up? Now, G says he was using a submarine. That could be one or two. So yeah. 9mm. Who has that? Well, I guess there's women that watch this. That's true. I have very weak wrists, so I'm a big 9mm guy. All right. So the next question is, what year did John Browning design the first popular lever action shotgun? Or should say, what was the model, I should say? The model of the first popular lever action shotgun. I typed it in wrong, but yeah.
No, come on, people.
1776. That's
You're killing me.
Getting close out there. A couple of them.
There's a couple that were close. Oh man, no FUDs. There's no FUDs in the chat. Apparently
not. I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
Nope.
What was the model of John Browning's first popular lever action shotgun?
Mm-hmm.
Google foo, people.
Oh, we got one that was hidden.
Yep, I got it. Black Cat.
Yep.
RL. It took about 11 minutes for RL to get it.
And there still wasn't anybody that got it. Defense Day had come up finally.
Yeah, and Gary finally came up. But yeah, 1887. And you said it was designed in 1885, correct?
Yes, designed in 1885, correct. Mandatory Carrier says he refuses to believe I'm a FUD. I know when the 1887 was actually designed. How can I not be a FUD? Come on. Come on.
So let me go over here real quick. Now, RL might not like this. You might have to give it to someone else. But it's an extra large, but it is a We the People 1776 hoodie. They sent an extra large. You can give it to someone if you like. But RL, go ahead and email me your address. I think I probably got it, but just to make sure, email me your address and I will get this hoodie out to you. If you don't want it, give it to somebody else and, make it a nice Christmas gift for birthday present. But you're going to get a We the People holster. But it's a nice 1776 with stars around and all that.
Well, if it don't fit, it's a hoodie. He could just put the hood over his head and wear it like a cape.
There you go. He said, LOL, I'll give it to someone. But yeah, send me your address and I'll send it to you. You can do with it what you want. You can use it as a giveaway on your channel if you like.
Re-gift, yeah.
Re-giveaway. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go with this next one. Once again, these shouldn't be that difficult. I'm not trying to stump you guys. I'm actually wanting to give this stuff away. All right. So the next question, Sarge says he'll trade you. Sarge doesn't want the eyes and ears, apparently.
Oh, there you go.
He said, what'd you get? If Sarge wants the sweatshirt and RL wants the Venture Gear Tactical eyes, ears, and hat, stating that you both agree to that. Don't do it out here because I'm not watching. But send me an email saying you both agree and we'll go from there. So the next question is, name the most popular weapon on the planet with more than 75 million made since the 1940s.
Wow, that's hard.
Shouldn't be very difficult. So far, okay. Guitar Man Pete.
Yep.
That's what I have. So Guitar Man Pete with the AK-47. That shouldn't have been that difficult. So let me go over here real quick and
only way it would have been easier if you would have said since 1947.
Well, this is true. Yeah. What you're going to get is it's going to come directly from them. Is Klinger Holster is going to send you a holster. The good friends of mine, they said that, and they'll throw in some extra stuff in there too, some extra goodies. But what I need for you to do, Pete, is email me. First, go over to Klinger Holsters, and make sure they've got what it just. But email me address and what gun that you want the holster for, and hopefully they'll have it for that model. But let me know what gun you want the holster for. But Klinger is going to send you a holster and some other goodies as well. So thank you to them. They reached out and said we want to do something for a giveaway, and boom, Klinger. And I've got Klinger on a lot of my. I mean, I've got Klinger holster for all my CCW, and they're great. They're made here in Arkansas over by Fort Smith. So.
Is their logo a crab?
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah.
That
is clear. Sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Wonder how that happened.
I need to ask him. I never did ask him where the crab came up with, but
that's kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask him next time I talk to him. I got to call him tomorrow anyway, so let him know who won. But no, I'll have to ask him that because I've never asked that. It is a weird logo, but yeah, I'll ask him that for sure. So it looks like Black Cat and Sarge are going to trade. So let me just make this change here so I don't lose it. So Sarge. All right. Still email me your addresses, guys. All right. So what we're going to do is put this in there. So if you guys have been watching, Pat says, thank you for your generosity tonight. Thank you for your, it's all good. Yeah. What's up, Knives? It's the least we could do, man. Like I said, there's a lot of people that have been supporters of the channel. And funny, the thing is, most of the people that have won tonight have been here since almost the damn beginning. Right. That's kind of cool,
Yeah, because you haven't really done a lot of channel specific questions.
No, I haven't. And like I said, I wanted to kind of give. I wanted people to win this. I didn't want them to have to, do certain things. But this one is going to be more of a channel specific, or not channel specific, but a personal specific thing. So the next question is going to be, who taught me how to shoot, or how to put this? Who taught me how to shoot
firearms?
Firearms, yeah. Who taught me how to shoot firearms? It'd be an interesting way of posing that question, because I can't really ask it without giving the answer away. Patriot, in my eyes, sees it, and it's fitting that a Marine would answer that question.
He did it blindfolded, people. Got to step up your game.
That's right.
He could have had one hand tied behind his back too. We don't know that, but we certainly know he was blindfolded.
This is definitely true. Pete, hold on just a second. I'll get you one real quick to show you.
Well, this is captivating television. He gives prizes away and then he just leaves.
All right. We still there?
Yeah.
Not that he can see, but Patriot, you're going to get a Safariland drop leg. It doesn't come with the actual holster. It's just the drop leg and the assembly. But you can kind of put almost whatever holster you want with their little QLS lock and all that. It comes with the female end, but a drop leg from Safariland. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. If not, then I'm still going to send it to you. and you can give it away on your channel if you don't want it. But so Patriot, just send me your address. I know I've got it, but once again, send me your address, and you win the drop leg. The drop leg is for it's for a Jacob, a drop leg holster for a pistol. Oh hell, I can show you real quick.
Yeah, you got to have the little attachment, and then you can put any holster on it. Turn any holster into a drop leg holster, basically.
Yeah. So this it kind of this goes attaches on your leg, and it drops down. When you have it on, it'll drop down to about right there, and then you throw in your holster into this, and your holster sits, down here, because it'll attach. So this one's gonna drop right here. So it's gonna give you, if you wear for training or all, it's just a drop leg holster, but it's for a pistol. And
if you want to be all tactical, it's not for FUDs. So
yeah, it's probably not. Show us your legs. Woohoo. Ricardo. Mm-hmm. I'll rock your world. You stop it. Okay. Snowy says he's got to head out. Thanks for 20. Congrats. Thank you. Congrats for winning, Snowy. So yeah, Patriot, you're going to get the drop leg and all of that. I want to say this is the last one coming up. Who does this? Patriot in the dark.
Did you see my side chat earlier?
Negative. Okay. All right. So Clover is going to throw in some CloverTac stuff. And so since first of all, thank you for that. Since you're going to do that, do you have a question that you want to ask?
No, I don't. Hey, let's just do the first one that can get through the call-in line.
Okay. First person that gets through the call-in line is going to win a gift from CloverTac. So let's the number's scrolling, guys. It's not very hard to find it.
So we hadn't done that yet.
Scrolling. We haven't yet.
So since the gun cleaners, they pay big money for that, right?
They pay big money to utilize this. Yes, for sure. So first person, just call. You don't have to answer the question, guys. First person. Here we go. We got one coming in.
No question. That's it.
TheArmedCitizenPodcast. Who is this?
G23.
G23. Whoop, whoop.
Sweet.
So, Clover, you want to tell G23 what he just won?
Yeah, I'm going to send him the two Hug a Fud patches, the green and the orange, and one of the new Super Fud patches as well. So
awesome.
And probably a few other things, but
yep. There's always extra stuff when most thin stuff out. It's always extra stuff in there. Faux shizzle. But congrats, man. Thanks to G23. Appreciate you very much, bro.
Thank you.
You got it, bro. We'll see you soon. So G23, do you have his address? Or you need him to email?
I don't know if I do or not. So yeah, he needs to email me, or I'll get in touch with him and remind him. But yeah, if he's out there, email me. He's got it.
There you go. All right, so we got one more. We have one more prize to give away, and should be a pretty easy one. If you guys been paying attention to the channel at all last couple years, it shouldn't be that difficult. The difference with this one is it is going to be, and it's ironic that we just did the call in, because this is what we were going to do. The first person to call in with the correct answer is going to win this prize. Okay. The first person to call in, and if you've already won tonight, you can't win. Okay. You can't. This is for someone that hasn't won tonight. The question is, what what's that?
You just dropped out. Start over.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. What brand of pistol have I religiously said is the best in the world for the price? First person to call What brand of pistol have I religiously said is the best in the world for the price? First person to call in with the correct answer. And
it's a fight on the call line. That's right. I was looking out in the chat.
yeah, it's a fight on the call line. Who's going to get through first? Sarge says High Point. Well, he didn't call. He put it out there in the chat, but
All right.
he didn't call. The call-in numbers, it literally is scrolling on the bottom, guys. It's literally scrolling on the bottom. The hotline is down there. 530-364-4678.
Probably all jammed up.
It probably is jammed up.
Done that before. Yeah.
It has, but we'll wait till someone gets through.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And
we're here all night. Kind of. Maybe, sort of.
I'm glad we're not taking like the fifth caller.
Right.
So we're gonna wait, and if nobody wants this, then that's cool. You don't know what you're gonna win yet. Oh, here we go. Armed Citizen Podcast. Who is this?
High Point.
Who is this?
High Point.
High Point is not the
Little
correct
Patriot,
answer.
me.
It is not the correct answer.
It's Little Patriot. Hey.
Hey, what's going on, little Patriot? How you doing, kiddo? She said she called herself Little Patriot. I love it, Little Patriot.
I like it.
I don't look. My dad set me up for someone else.
Yeah, I would blame him too.
I blame him too. I guarantee it. But it's nice to finally talk to you on the phone. Awesome. You taking care of Dad?
Yeah, he's very crazy.
You think?
So
yeah, he's crazy, but he's nice.
He is. He is a great one. Well, thank you.
Yeah, my friends are arguing right now. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I can't hear them, but yeah. All right. Well, you take care, and Patriot, we'll see you soon, brother.
hey, Gary says the number's not down there. So
It's not. Okay.
there you go. Now it is.
I refreshed it. That's all I did. I don't know what. That's weird. All right. So the number is now down below 530-364-4678. That's what I hit refresh on that banner, and I don't know. That's StreamYard's weird sometimes. StreamYard is definitely weird sometimes.
Thanks, Gizzard, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. I would have, the banner's been scrolling on my side the whole time. So
There we go.
here we go. Armed Citizen Podcast. Who's this?
It's Gizzard.
Gizzard Gary. All right. So what's the answer?
Canik.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, snap.
All right. Well, Gary, guess what you just won?
What did I win?
A Canik TP9.
Seriously.
Dead serious if you want it.
Oh my God. Thank you.
If you want it, you just
Wow.
won yourself a TP9.
Yeah, heck yeah.
TP for your bunghole, Gary.
TP for your 9 bungles. Yeah. And that's great because Gary, I've known Gary since literally I got on over on Gun Channel. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, congrats, Gary. Just won a Canik TP9. Yeah, awesome. I need for you to do me a favor and send me your FFL and stuff. And they might have to get a hold of you too to verify the FFL or whatever. But send me an email with your FFL, and I'll pass it on, and it'll get there when it gets there. Hopefully pretty soon. But yeah, if you want it, you just won yourself a Canik TP9.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you for always being around. So yeah. He just won another gun. Did he win a gun from you also at one point?
Yeah. Yep. Well, it was It was one of the weird things. Snob won it, but then Gizzard also was like second, and then he didn't want it. So, Pancakes out there ended up with it or something. Some weird, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of calls. Sorry, guys. It is what it is.
It's
Gary,
over.
you still want it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm really happy to do that, especially someone who not only has been around for a while, but is a patron of mine. All of that. It kind of just worked out the best way for Gary to win that. So, do you have a Canik yet? I know you shot.
I don't.
But have you ever had one?
Nope. Never had.
There you go.
Okay. Well, Clover's the only one that I knew that knew that I was going to be doing this particular one. And I'm surprised he didn't drop out. It wasn't fun enough for him to drop out and answer the question.
Yeah, it wasn't a shot. Been a minute like a single shot or a bolt action, man. I'd been all over it, but nah, I don't want no Canik.
Michael,
I got plenty of other Bud guns from Turkey, man. It's all good.
I understand that. Oh, Michael Oppenheimer says, Atomic Jew, a new subscriber listening to your channel for the very first time. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Tonight is not a typical show podcast. We're celebrating hitting the 25,000. So we just gave away 10 awesome prizes. I know that you came in late and you probably missed out on that. But this is not indicative of what we typically do. We don't give stuff away every week, especially guns. We usually have topics and all of that.
Defense Dad said he called the suicide prevention line 3 times. That's funny.
Yeah. So G Web says, how do I know that Gary is old enough to own a pistol?
This is true.
Luckily I know him and I've actually met him in person. Most of us have, but G says, are there 25 free guns, one for every 1,000? If I could do that, I would, but I don't have that kind of clout. I was lucky to get this one. But no, it's I'm really glad and really happy. But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar, the Canik TP9 is a great gun. I love that gun. Yeah, I'm so happy that Gary won it. Just because, like he said, he's been here since almost the beginning. He's a patron. It kind of worked out perfectly, for that to happen. But is he still with us? I haven't heard him drop off. Yeah, I think he dropped off.
I guess he did. Yeah.
So C4 says, thanks for actually doing a giveaway. I didn't do one at 20. It sounds crazy. I won at 25. I knew that I was going to do something at 25. And so I didn't want to kind of do it that close because I was working on some stuff, obviously, to get some for the 25K and all of that. But yeah, it's been a weird year. I mean, literally this time last year, I had 3,000 subs and caught a couple waves this summer and I spent a lot of money buying subs this summer, to be honest with you. But I went broke buying subs. And
right.
Let's see here. Rich says Gary wins all the guns. Midnight says worked out too perfectly. I'm suspicious of that chicken. Yeah. He seems to win quite a bit. Rich is out there, and Rich wins almost everything out there too.
He does.
Maybe guns, but Rich wins a lot of stuff. DJ says 25,000 rounds of ammo of your choice. That would be nice. No. First of all, I don't think I could find it. If I did, if I had to pay for it, there's no way I could afford it. That almost be like $25,000. 9mm is going for like 75, 80 cents a round now. I mean, good Lord, what the hell. Yep. All right, so we've been going for an hour 16. We gave up, 10 items, 11 because you threw in a prize pack as well. So thank you for that, Clover. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been an awesome 3.5 years, and obviously we're not going anywhere. It's just kind of a celebration, not a we're leaving or anything. But but
Right.
we are happy that we're here. Yeah, a lot of people know that Clover and I are very good friends, and our friendship reaches much, much, much past YouTube and all of that. So I do want to say thank you to him. And Clover and I met on a live chat of someone else's that actually neither one of us watch or listen anymore.
Never will again. Yeah.
Never will again. But we met on another live chat and we started talking, and he brought up gun channels. And I think at the time I was like, had 100 subs, maybe, I don't know, 100, 200 subs. And I never heard of gun channels. And so he invited me to come over to gun channels. And I think you had just gotten over there like maybe a couple weeks before I did, and told me it was a great community and all of that. And Midnight says, I didn't call because I gave away a $20 red dot. That stings. Hey, anyways. And that's kind of when everything kind of started changing and really and having fun with YouTube is when we got over the gun channels and meeting a lot of awesome people over there, like Knives and Rich and obviously Gary and Sarge and Obnoxious and Snob and man, most of the people that you see on the live chats, Grim. I mean, most of the people that you see, RL, man, they were all gun channels people, and Patriot, and we that's where we all started. A lot of us we started on gun channels, and it was a great community. And thanks to G Webs for having gun channels there for a while. It was just a great community, and that's where we cut our teeth, if you will. I can say personally, I got the confidence of talking kind of live in the lobby chats of gun channels and all of that. So it was, it was great. But there's a lot of guys that we all kind of came into gun channels, a bunch of us within that 4 to 6 months of each other. A bunch of us came in at that time, and it's kind of cool to see 3.5 years later that everything's going well for everybody. So Sarge says that Clover invited him to gun channels, and Nice is a late night chats, man. We talk about going down some rabbit holes. The old late night chats, they were great though. They were awesome. They were fun.
Yeah, I would love to take
Yankees chat. No, it wasn't Yankees.
I'd love to take credit for like all the people that are brought to gun channels, but the honest truth is, I told so many people about it that I don't remember who all I told about it. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. So it's like, if you say so, Sarge, But it was a great play. It was cool. Yeah. And no, it was not Yankees chat. It's not anybody that is even remotely, even though he may act 2A in some of the crap he puts out nowadays when he seldom puts something out. He is not involved in 2A. He don't care about 2A. He's not even. I don't even think he's a gun guy, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't think he's much of a gun guy. No. So we won't even mention his name at this point.
No, because I don't want anyone to even. I don't want to give him the light. Yeah.
Now he does have some nicknames, and if anybody out there in the chat wants to put those nicknames out there, go ahead. But
and I want to say that Grim already said that Fish Break's been mentioned.
Oh, there you go.
Now, Gary did mention the Allen B Pro's first live was a classic, and Rich said that also. That was a
oh my god! Allen has been pro and semi-pro.
No, it wasn't the first one. That was when he changed his name to Jan is Gay.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that was.
And then realized that if you change your name more than a couple of times, it sticks there for like 90 days. And the one that he was making a joke, he changed it to Jan is Gay, and he had that name for like 3 months.
Right. Right.
But the first one is he went live for the very first time.
Oh, he threw the link out.
He threw the link out in the chat, and we did everybody. We were in there, and oh my god, that was the crazy. It went for like 4 or 5 hours of just nonsense. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Yeah, that was a great one. There was a question up here.
I don't agree with Ricardo completely out there. He said we must subscribe to every gun channel. this community must be stronger and stronger, even in dark times. Yeah, I don't agree with that. There's some gun channels out there that
You do not want
they don't have your best interest at heart, and they are not any type of an ally in the community or the fight that you're talking about and stuff. So be careful with that. I'm not going to mention any names. Somebody out there will mention one though.
Mm-hmm.
That come up, as I get more and more subscribers, and I don't like bringing that up, right? And unless somebody mentions that channel, I don't like mentioning the hashtag. And those folks out there that know the story, you know what I'm talking about. But that hashtag gets thrown out, and there's G23.
It's there. He's got it. He's got it on. He's on the ball, man.
And I'm getting it, but just because of new subscribers and new people that come into live streams, they're like, "No way! What's it?" If you want to know that story, I'm not going to talk about it on there. I'm not going to talk about it live. I'm not going to make a video about it. It's something that happened years ago. But if you do want to know, I'm not afraid to tell you the story. So get with me on the telephone or through email, and I'll let you know. It's interesting for sure.
It's an interesting story.
I mean, that's why I say not every gun channel out there, even big ones that appear to be famous, they don't have your best interests at heart. They really don't.
No, because and that channel in particular will fit in Rim in Dallas the year before, if you don't remember.
Do what now?
So the channel that you're talking about in the whole hashtag, that's not even where we started. Kind of what in the hell? It happened the year before at NRAM in Dallas. Do you remember him dressing up?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Look at me.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, there are some. Hey, man, at this point, I'm to the point to where to each is their own. If you're going to turn a camera on and you're going to put content out there that is gun stuff, cool. I will say this. There are a lot of people that are in it for the wrong reason. They're in it for the subs. They're in it for the money. They're in it for the fame, the fortune, whatever you want to call it, the fortune. I use that term lightly. But the fame and all of that stuff, there are some really awesome people out there that do care. But just be careful. There are some people out there that, like Clover said, they do not have your best interest or the two ways community best in mind.
You build a persona. I mean, think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's no different. It's really not when you think about it than like Hollywood actors and stuff, right? They may have come up from a good place and they may have had really good intentions, but at a certain point, you have to play a certain game to keep the fame and the fortune and the everything else that you've got going, right? So you sort of fall,
or you have to change personas to get that fame.
Yeah, you sort of fall into a certain way of thinking and stuff like that, but there are underlying principles, right?
Yeah.
And so, without getting real deep off into the particular story, there's some underlying principles that you can easily see one's character, right, when you start looking at things like that. And so, yeah, just we've said it before. Just be mindful, right? There's nothing. I'm never going to say don't go watch some of those folks, because you could certainly be entertained and whatever, but be really, really cautious about thinking that they're an ally in any type of fight or that they would do anything for you. But on the flip side, since we're talking about things like that, there are people that get trashed all the time that as a person are exemplary people and would do anything for you personally if you really needed help. And they are talked about like garbage on the internet, and they're some of the best people. And so it goes both ways, and that's where you got to kind of be careful.
And I'm going to throw a name out there because everyone knows how I feel. And I don't necessarily like a lot of what he says. I don't agree with a lot of what he says. And people are going to bash Yankee. Yankee is the most polarizing person on YouTube.
That's who I was talking about. He's
one. I know it is. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I don't mind saying his name, because, you and I, we've had I had a discussion with Yankee at SHOT Show for 2.5 hours one time. And we were talking about our old military kind of stories. And we did we were involved in the same community, put it that way. Yeah. And great dude. And this guy will literally give his shirt off his back to help someone out, whether
If
he
they
knows them or not.
If they really need help. But see, that's the
That's
thing,
right.
right? Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, Yankee is not, he's not stupid. And so he knows when people are playing him and stuff like that. So that's not going to work. But if you're legitimately in need, 100%, man.
Yeah.
100%.
And like I said, you don't have to like his content. You don't have to agree with his political views, his social views, his whatever. You don't have to agree with anything. And that's cool. That's a great thing about it is you don't have to get along with the persona on the internet. I've met him. I've had conversations with him, and I can tell you he is exactly who he is on in person as he is. He's very straightforward. He doesn't care if you like it or not. He's going to speak his mind, but he is a very good person. And whether or not that I always agree with him politically or socially or anything makes no difference. Yeah. I can tell you that man is good in my book because I know, a lot of people know what he does behind the scenes for a lot of things and a lot of people. So don't always judge the book by its cover. Get to know the person. And that's what I judge people on. I might not like him as a YouTuber or, there are a lot of people I don't like as a YouTube, but I think are pretty good people. Right. There are also people that I think I like on YouTube that I meet them and said they're pieces of shit people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And very few of those do a live stream. You know what I mean? Because you can't do these live streams and talk off the cuff and react to the live chat and all you folks out there. You can't do that and be hiding stuff. You really can't.
Yeah.
You can keep your personal life somewhat private, right? Mm-hmm. You can't do that. But you can't. You can't hide it, and especially can't hide it if you do it much or do it forever. So that's why you see a lot of these bigger channels. That's why they don't do live streams.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the peek behind the curtain. It will lose.
They definitely don't. They don't want that curtain pulled back. They might have forgotten what stories they told 2.5, 3 years ago, and you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's just not saying it always happens, but it does. It does happen. Interesting question. Let's do this before we get out of here. Jacob says, I have a question for everyone. On February 27th, he's going to go into a gun show in his area.
Nice.
What should I keep on the lookout or search for? Well, Jacob, I don't know. I mean, are you going to just experience a gun show or are you going there for a specific thing? I can tell you, and I don't want Clover coming in here, but I'm going to tell you one thing, especially now, but just in general. Prices are typically a little bit 10 to 20% inflated at gun shows than they would be elsewhere. So just understand that prices are going to be a little bit higher, especially now. I can only imagine what ammo and guns are going to be selling at a gun show right now with all the times going on. But honestly, if this is your first gun show, unless you have something specific that you're actually looking for or shopping for, then man, just go and enjoy it. Enjoy the experience of a gun show because they really are fun. You'll get to see a lot of stuff that you probably never get to see before. And if you see a cool gun in a collection, don't be afraid to go ask that person about his gun. He's going to realize pretty quick you're not there to buy. But if you want to know about guns, that's a place to go. What would you say? Advice to Jacob for this first gun show? It's his third gun show. Okay, it's his third gun show. So what would you give some advice to look out for? So without knowing what he's looking for, I don't know.
I don't know what Steven out there is talking about, but he's saying I'm new to the scene and we appreciate help. All you have to do is reach out, man, to not only myself or Ghost or anybody in the chat, but if you got questions or concerns or you want to know some inside baseball and some other things or whatever, right? Like I said, myself, Ghost, or just darn near anybody in this chat. Yeah. We're fully open to talking to people, and it's just a matter of a lot of people don't want to. I think that scares a lot of people when you're that open, because I'll do that because I'll be having a back and forth online with somebody, and I'm like, look, get with me through email, and I mean, if you can find me if you want to find me, and I don't mean that in a threatening way. I'm easy to contact, and it's like, let's have a real conversation on the telephone and not this back and forth through social media about what's going on, right? because so much can get lost in translation and misunderstood. And I think pretty much, like I've said, myself, you, anybody out there in the chat's open to that. So utilize that. If people open those channels of communication, they're there for a reason. They've got them open for a reason. Now, back to your question about the Jacob and the gun show, right?
Yeah.
FUD guns, man, FUD guns. Right now, and I'm not saying that because Bud Light rules. Right now is a great opportunity. I've partaken over the last year since the cough and everything, all this crazy started. There's some really good deals out there on firearms that are not the flavor of the day, the special poly of the year, and all this other stuff. There's some really genuinely nice firearms out there at really reasonable prices because people are trying to get the flavor of the day and the things that they think are going to be gotten rid of or whatever, right? And I'm going to tell you that's my advice to folks is look for those gems that there's a really good deal on and pick those up. And then 3, 4, 5 years from now, whatever, once things are all kind of settled down, then you got something that's worth way more than what you gave for it, and everybody else is paying inflated prices on stuff now. They're gonna be losing money, right, when they go to trade or do something else. So you'll be able to trade that later on for 2 or 3 of the flavors of the day if that's what you so choose to do, right? And you may find you love it and you want to keep it and pass it down to generations to come or something. Sarge makes a good point out there too. I consider that a FUD gun, but he's saying a 4006 CHP, yeah, which is one of the Highway Patrol semi-autos from back in the day. I consider that honestly that's a FUD gun, along with the Ruger P90s.
It's the FUDdiest semi-auto pistol in the world.
I guarantee you, it is. Yeah, yep. So, but yeah, those aren't bad if you can pick them up. They're getting scarce and expensive, but yeah, if you can find a deal on any of those CHP guns, man, great deal.
Yeah. Something to be on the lookout for also, not just Jacob, but if Steven's out there and he's kind of new to the scene and all that, if you're looking for, let's say, a Glock 17 or something like that, there are a lot of police trade-ins that you can find, police trade-in Glocks for a couple $100, sometimes less than that right now, but a couple $100, maybe $250.
I don't know about that. Most of the ones I've seen are pushing about $350. Looks like.
Oh man, you can get them around here for. I mean, I've seen them for.
You've seen them that cheap?
$2 to $250 a lot of times. Yeah.
Gen 3s.
Gen 3s. Yeah. Which I was great because I love Gen 3.
I like a Gen 3 too. The sad thing is the vast majority of the trade-ins you're seeing is pitiful little 40 caliber. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of the trade-ins are the Glock 22s. And I I get a rash thinking about 40 caliber.
Whoever just tried to call again. I had already turned down the phone, so call again real quick. I just turned it back on. Someone was trying to call into the show.
So while that's going on, Manticore Carey was asking about are there any shows that haven't been canceled? You've got Tulsa so far in April. That happens. And it looks like, because I'm seeing even YouTube ads that are saying Oklahoma's open for business. So, with the way things are going, it almost happened in November. So I got to think that it very well could. Largest gun show in the world. Definitely worth a trip to the Wanamaker Tulsa Arms Show in April. You've got USCCA in Nashville in April. Still looks like at this point that's going to happen. You've got the first part of March. You've got the POMA, Professional Outdoor Media Association, and you have to be a POMA member to go, but I'm headed to that one. That's going to be in Talladega. And then you've got PSA is putting on, do you know the date or anything on that? But PSA is putting on a show or a trade show type thing. So
yeah, I don't remember when it is. I'm not going to it.
Yeah, I'm not either. And from what we hear from Jeff and Gear Report and all that, they're wanting media members to pay. And I think that's asinine that I have to pay to travel to an event to pimp your stuff and give you promotion. That makes absolutely no sense. I got to pay to go work, right? A lot of people view SHOT Show and NRA, they view these things as vacations and we're going to go have fun. And there's a certain element of it that is fun. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, and other creators may be different, but I work my tail end off. I'm tired, genuinely tired at the end of the day and the end of the event. I'm wore freaking out. So
I think Sarge says March 17th to the 19th.
there you go.
So
yeah, I'm sure you could go to PSA website or something, probably find it if you're interested.
And hopefully USCCA is going to happen in April in Nashville. I think it's like the 18th to the 20th.
Right.
As of now, it's still planning on. So I haven't heard that it's been canceled. So if it's going on, then I will be there. Like I said, guys, if you're the one that just called a few minutes ago, call back. I didn't have the through the computer. I didn't have the phone set up to answer it live. So call back if you've got a question. I have no problem answering the question or whatever. But please call back if you just called a couple minutes ago and it went to voicemail. So, Pat, my email address is TheArmedCitizenPodcast@gmail.com. It is in the description of this video as well, but TheArmedCitizenPodcast@gmail.com. So, yeah. Well, if whoever it was, is not going to call. When at USCC, I think it's April 18th to the 20th. I want to say it's those are the dates.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
18th to 20th in Nashville, Tennessee.
Let me look at the calendar real quick. February, March, April. I think it's the 16th through the 18th.
That might be. I knew that.
So you were close.
The 18th was in there somewhere.
And the week before is Tulsa, by the way, the 9th and the or the 10th and the 11th.
Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Armed Citizen Podcast. Who's this?
Hey, this is Pat Hirsch.
Hey, what's up, Pat? How you doing, man?
Oh, doing pretty good since I won that magazine.
Right. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
I just wanted to thank you as much in person as I possibly could. I'm getting ready to jump on to Get Off My Lawn podcast here pretty quick, but I just wanted to say thank you. And I've been following you for like the last 4 weeks now, and I think you do a hell of a job, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I really do. And thanks for coming over. I think we met over on either Sandy's or Travis's chat, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was on Sandhills, I think, if I remember right, because that's actually kind of where I got my start at, was getting kicked off there over about a year ago now, roughly.
Yeah.
So it's, and I'll tell you what, since I got started in this is probably one of the best communities that you can probably join and have a good conversation, and not everybody's ripping each other's heads off.
This is true. No doubt, for sure. It's a really, like I said, it's a really the group of people that we can typically hang around with, just a bunch of good people. I've met most of them in person, and they're just genuinely good people. And they're real. They're not fake. And you very rarely will ever hear me or see me talking or socializing or even acknowledging anyone that I'm a pretty good read of character, and I won't submit to wasting my time on people that aren't good. So a lot of people in this area, in this community, are really awesome people, and and it's great. Like I said, it's meeting. I think it was over in Sandhills, over in the Get Off My Lawn, and where we first met. And like I said, you're going to meet people all the time, and it's crazy. Some of the best friends that I have online, I've never met. There's some great friends of mine that I caught. Midnight Range. He and I talk all the time. Never met him in person. There's just a lot of really good people out there. So we need more people in this community for sure. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. The more people we can get in here, the better off we'll be, for sure.
No doubt.
But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick shout and tell you as much as I can in person. Thank you very much for your generosity.
Oh, you got it, man. And I'll get this stuff out to you here as soon as we can. But yeah, thanks for watching. Congratulations, Pat. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Thanks again, man.
You got
Appreciate
it, man.
for having me on.
You got
All
it.
right. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, USCCA has changed dates and times and locations.
Really?
USCCA Concealed Carry and Home Defense Expo is now October 1st through the 3rd. October 1st through the 3rd in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, wow. And then so NRA is like
in Houston a couple weeks later.
Houston a couple of weeks later. Wow.
There's a reason for that, honestly. I bet you there was a reason for that. For the industry side and all of that, that would make sense.
Fort Worth. It can't be very big in Fort Worth. There's not.
Maybe? I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of. There's not any really big places in Fort Worth. Doesn't say where it's at in Fort Worth, does it?
No, because the frequently asked questions are all grayed out because I think this just happened. This just happened.
Wow.
And so there's nothing that there's doing any questions about because I bet you this just happened like in the last day or so. Right. Because as of last Friday, it was still April in Nashville. For me, it's 6 to 1 half. It's going to be 6 hour drive either way. But now I get to go home to Texas, so I'm happy. So,
but that's you're looking at USCCA, you're looking at NRA, which is in Houston, and then Tulsa. So it's like October, November is like all right there. Bam, bam, bam. So going to be busy later this year. That'd be cool. Sucks that nothing is. I was looking forward to it in April. So at least so far, the POMA event's still going on.
Jamie Torres, I don't know if it's Jamie or Jaime, has HR 127 been discussed in a previous cast? Man, they're all over the place. You can just search HR 127 on YouTube and you're going to find all of the content that you want about that. The best thing I can do to tell you is, and this is going to sound bad, I'm not saying don't listen to anyone out there. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is utilize them to notify you of what's going on, but end it right there. Go read the bill yourself. That's the best thing I can tell you is go over to congress.gov and you can read it and because no matter who you listen to the synopsis of, they're going to spin it how they want to spin it. Go read it. It's a terrible bill. It's an evil bill. But honestly, I don't think that this is the bill that they want to pass. I really don't. I think this is just my opinion. Okay. And I'll give you your few minutes if you want to, Clover. My opinion on HR 127 is this. I don't think this is what there's a game plan to this. They're throwing everything that they can into HR 127. It's like shooting a bunch of 1,000 paper wads at the wall. And they're going to see which 1, 2, or 3 of these sections of this bill might have legs. And then what they're going to do, knowing this bill is too radically evil to make it even out of committee. Never going to happen. Never going to pass.
Right.
But they can take 1, 2, or 3 of these little itty small issues and attach them to an omnibus or a bigger bill that even the Republicans are going to have a tough time publicly to vote no against. They're going to slide some of these stuff into these bills because they know that the Republicans aren't going to be able to go back to their constituents and say, I voted against this, even though they voted against it for the gun stuff versus what the bill was about. Yeah. That's my opinion. I think that HR 127 we're going to throw everything against the wall, see what starts to stick, keep that in mind, put that in our pocket, and slide them in down the road. That's just my opinion. What do you think about HR 127?
So I think a telltale sign with this is that it was introduced on the 4th of January. Not only has there been zero action on it since then, that includes no co-sponsors, no anything else. Right. With Democrat majorities in the House, the Senate, blah, blah, blah. Nobody has signed on in over a month. It was introduced by somebody, Sheila Jackson Lee, who even the Democrats are like, she's a clown show. She's a circus. And if they get behind anything, by her, I mean, it's almost political suicide. And then if you look at the actual name of the bill itself, which most people are throwing out this HR 127 and they stop, the name of the bill is the Sabika Chic Firearm Licensing and Registration Act. I don't think any bill that says Firearm and Licensing and Registration Act, there's going to be a lot of Democrats that are going to have problems trying to push that, whether they want to try to push it or not.
Right.
That's going to be a serious jeopardy thing when it comes to their reelection, pushing a licensing that point blank says, right? So as it's written, as it's tailored, this was a getting attention play, I think, for the most part, from Sheila Jackson Lee. It's got the name. If nobody is familiar with who Sabik Sheik is, it was a kiddo that unfortunately we lost in the Santa Fe mass murder, let's call it, here in Texas, right? So her district, it's a grandstanding play for her constituents to support her locally, to get this kid's name on an act. Politicians do this all the time with all kinds of bills they submit, right? And they don't have any intentions of it going anywhere. They plan on using it. They'll blame whoever and whatever for it never going anywhere, but they'll use it to their political advantage locally to go, look, I tried to pass a bill, and this person's name that died tragically, blah, 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 right? So, but I do agree with what Ghost said. This was also a fishing expedition in a way. And so that's what we've got to be. I'm not saying we don't have to be. I don't think we have to be too concerned with HR 127. I think we have to be concerned with what gets utilized potentially later down the road out of HR 127. And so I think
it's going to be in a bill that we're probably not going to be on the lookout for.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people. We had this conversation about creators you can trust versus creators you can't, and a bunch of other things. I think a lot of them push this HR 127. They're talking about all these crazy things, but they don't want to talk about what I talked about, which is some of the underlying factors that would tell me this doesn't have a snowball's chance in Hades, right? The way it's written, who's proposing it, what's going on so far. All of these factors don't add up that we need to be scared of HR 127. And then they're going to scare you with that, and they're going to stop. They're not going to pay attention to the bits and pieces of this that may go into a budgetary thing, or may go into a military spending thing, or may go into a border security thing. Who freaking knows, right? They're not going to pay attention and not going to report on that, because guess what? It's the same as when, and I hold a bit of a grudge when it comes to this. It's the same as when the ATF opened the comment period for pistol braces, right? And I come out, I talked about it. Everybody talked about it. We, whether you think that was a good or a bad play, or it helped or it didn't, I think we got the word out, and a lot of people went and commented. And then just a few short weeks after that, guess what? The United States, the Office of the Comptroller, put out a same comment period. And I guarantee you, if you Google that, I'm probably the only person on the entire internet that was even talking about that. And it was actually a good thing. They were actually doing a pro-gun thing with it, and it could get no traction, right? So we talk about, and I say we because I'm talking about the online community at large, right? There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people that do a lot of different things, not just make YouTube videos. But, I think as a community at large, I think a lot of times we micro focus on things, and it's really dangerous, where we need to look at it, and then we need to be critical of it, and we need to look at certain discrepancies, which I mentioned when I first started talking. And then we need to pull back a little bit, and we need to be mindful of some of these other moving parts that are going on, and make sure that we get the word out on those moving parts, and quit harping on, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I think I've explained myself, hopefully, because I get on a soapbox sometimes, right?
No, I hear you. And it's not like in this particular bill, but she does some weird stuff, and she's always, putting bills out there. I think you're right. And we both, I think a lot of people agree that this isn't the bill they're going after. This is the bill that's out there to scare. But what's going to happen is they're going to backdoor some of this stuff into bills that the gun community in general probably aren't going to be looking for. That's just the reality of it. It's going to go into a bill. I'll put it this way: if there is a bill that seemingly from the outside looking in, that it would look like it would be really bad politics for a Republican to say no to being filed by a Democrat, read the text on that bill, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to attach it to someone like a military spending, like something like that, healthcare or whatever. There's going to be something that a Republican congressman or senator is going to have a very difficult time telling his constituents why he voted against it or she voted against it.
Right.
That's the kind of bill we got to look out for, because that's where they slide this stuff in.
Right.
And they know they got you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and there's already,
I don't know if they're going to do the stimulus package, because here's why I don't think it'll happen. Is there are 2 or 3 things that Biden wants to get done in the first year of his presidency. One, cure coronavirus, got to fix the economy, and he wants to push socialized medicine and solidify Obamacare. Okay. Yeah. So the last thing he wants to do is politicize gun stuff with the stimulus package, because that's messing with people's lives right there.
They're having a hard enough fight right now.
That's correct.
And if they throw anything else volatile in there, I think it's going to be tough for them to get that through. And I'm not saying I want them necessarily to get that through. That's a huge nail in the coffin of the national debt and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, from their perspective, I agree with you. It's one of their linchpins, and they really want to do that. And any little bit of controversy, they're not going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, it's been almost 2 hours. Once again, thank you for hanging out. We had a fun time. Gave away some really awesome gifts. If you're a winner tonight, thank you and congratulations. Make sure you email me. I've got a list of who won, but make sure you email me and all of that. If you didn't win, I apologize. Wait till we get to 50,000 and maybe I don't know. I don't think that'll ever come. But no, I really want to say thank you to everyone. It's been an awesome ride. It's not like we're going anywhere. I don't want this to sound like solemn, like, oh, thanks for everything, we're out of here. No. We've got some really cool things coming up, especially I'm gonna let you go first. I want to let you plug your stuff. I know you got a couple live podcasts tomorrow. You've got Thursday show, you've got some stuff and Gear Report, you've got some produced content coming out. Tell people where they can find you and plug your stuff, man.
First of all, you mentioned the produced content, and I totally forgot to drop produced content today. So
again, that's in a row, man.
Yeah. So as soon as this is over, I will drop produced content. I promise. It's late, 3 hours late, but I'll get that done. No, tomorrow I've got 2. If you're not familiar, the CloverTac podcast has moved to a random format where we record it live, and then I'll push it out to replay in the audio world after that. Right. So at 8 Eastern, let's see. Yeah. Is it? No, at 9 Eastern tomorrow morning, you can jump over to the channel. Both of these are scheduled. I've got Keith with EAA, or European American Armory, on. And then at 11, I believe it is, or noon. Nope, noon Eastern time, I will have 11 Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 Central, noon Eastern. I'll have Laura Smith with the Liberal Gun Club on. Nice. So she's put some things out in light of the Phoenix Ammunition and their play. And, she's got some thoughts on, I know G-Webs has talked about this. Jeff Knox has talked about this. There's been several people about how do we take some of these liberal leaning organizations, especially now that we've got, Democrat control, should they be stepping up, right? And should we be helping them to step up their game? And especially with the influx of new firearm owners, we know they're not all Bible thumping redneck conservatives. We know this for a fact. So is there some room to play there, right? So we're gonna be talking about some of that stuff. And the perk of recording these live, if you're out there, if you're able to jump in those live recordings tomorrow, is you can ask questions, not any question, obviously, but if they're related to the topic and relevant and everything, then you can jump in and and be a part of the conversation, because I don't have all the good questions. Some of you guys out there come up with some really good ones sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, go check out. Like I said, he puts Thursday night's chat. If you're looking to get involved, we've been saying this for years. A bunch of us have been saying, if you're out there, you've ever thought about turning your camera on and being part of this awesome community online, just do it. And if you're looking for ways to start your channel, or if you've started your channel and you kind of hit that ceiling, which we all hit. I think I was probably at about, I don't know, you probably don't remember this, Clover, but I was probably about 250, 300 subs.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling you and said, I think I'm done, dude. Like I hit that ceiling and I just was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And you and I had a nice long talk, and obviously I continue to do it, but everyone's going to hit that ceiling or hit that point where they're like, I don't know if this is worth it or not. If you have those questions and you're wanting to know what to do, whether you're starting out or you've already started, but you hit that ceiling, check out the Thursday podcast, his nerd podcast. And this is where we kind of talk about the tech side of things.
It is not a 2A discussion. We do not discuss gun bills and laws and best calibers, and it is not that. But if you want to better utilize social media and video and podcasting and stuff to further that cause, that is what the Thursday night is about. So in and of itself, not directly 2A related, but without, being able to know the fundamentals of how these platforms work and a bunch of different things, how do we ever get our message out, whatever that message might be, right?
Yeah, and what I like about it is you bring in, myself and you bring in other people to give their opinion, because we all have different, how do I put it? We all have different ways of thinking. We all have different experiences of what's happened to us and our channels over the years. So if someone out there has a question, typically of the people that are usually on the panel, one of us has had similar issues than you have. So don't be afraid to answer those. And those are great ones. So it is very, very important. Someone mentioned earlier in the chat, we need all the cameras we can get. And that is so true. We need all of the cameras that we can get in our community. So if you've ever thought about it, please go ahead and turn those cameras on. If you need any help, reach out to me, Clover, to G-Webs, to
100%,
to Gary, to Sarge, to any of these guys out there. They're probably more than happy to help. I know I've talked to you about you and what.
Oh, you talk about me all the time, no doubt.
All the time. I do. And I throw you under the bus so many times. But I talked about what your friendship means to me. And I think you know that on a personal level. I want to send a shout out to G-Webs. And G-Webs from the beginning has been an incredibly big mentor to me. And not just with the gun channels, but we used to have the three of us and several of us, but we would have 8-hour conversations just about stuff and how to get into SHOT Show and how to do this and how to do that. And, talk about the godfather of 2A YouTube. I mean, he literally is the godfather of 2A YouTube. Been there, done that, seen everyone come and go and all that. There are people out there, and I'm going to throw another name out there that I don't talk to them anymore. But there for a while was a big resource to me, and people are going to laugh, but Kevin Riker, the Tac Daddy, he's still a friend of mine. We don't talk very much, kind of gone separate directions and all that, but I'll never turn my back on a friend. But he was instrumental in some stuff, and he taught me how hard work and to think of it more of a business from the get-go. Even though I was too small to even worry about this as a business, he made me understand that you had to be ready for that at any time, and I was ready for that. For that already. So, but there are a lot of people out there that were instrumental in this. More importantly, just the guys that have always been there. The Gizzard Garys of the world, the Sarge, Obnoxious, we're talking Pink Panther, Pink's been out there, Knives, Ellis Hatfield. I mean, I love Ellis Outlaw Hatfield, man. One of my favorite people in this world. Truly a great human being. There's just a lot of people that have been around the whole time, and I'm not trying to get sentimental and all that. I'm just reflecting. It's crazy to me what's happened in the last 3.5 years. So it's kind of cool looking back and seeing all that and remembering kind of how it all started. Started me at the range. Some dude asking me if I would shoot a video that tell people how to get started with IDPA, and I literally held the camera up in selfie style and shot my first video. It's terrible, worst video ever put out, but kind of funny how it happens. And kind of funny that you and I met in some random dude's chat one night at 11 o'clock at night, just, it is what it is. You never know where you're going to find some of your best friends in the world. And I appreciate you, brother. I love you very much. You do mean a very big part of my life. So thank you for always being there.
Yeah,
thank you for everyone for being part of it, man. I really appreciate you.
Congrats on 25K. And, I know it's your night, but the gun snob, I don't know if he was out there at all tonight, but he hit 20K. So that is great. I remember when I was bigger than all of y'all, but I've said this.
You didn't see that tick last year like a lot of us did, but you're starting to see it now. I wonder if 2021 is going to be your year because
I don't think so, man. I don't think. Here's the thing. I'm not tactical. It's tactical for a reason. It's got cool in it, right? And I own tactical stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I love my levers. I love my revolvers. And you know what? There's just those are slow burn topics and slow burn. They've been around forever. There's really no controversy around them as far as people's going to take them away, right? And so it's a slow burn. I mean, you don't get those quick hits of viral activity, let's say, right, on stuff. You just really don't, unless you luck out and you get something that maybe was just released, and even though it's a FUD gun, it's a hot item, right? So it's the nature of the beast. I understand that. It's my wheelhouse. I don't want to deviate into tactical because I don't. I'll have to know. I don't like the flipping around the hood of cars and all the kind of. I just don't like the whole tactical.
That's like me doing revolver shotgun hunting videos. Ain't gonna happen, probably.
Right. So everybody, that's what we was talking about before, where, there's this misconception, and a lot of the folks that are out there in the live chat now, they show up for my live chats, sure.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
When it gets down to people that actually watch your produced content and your videos and really engage with the channel, we don't share as much audience as we think.
No, you and I have a lot of different. You probably share more of an audience with Snob than you do with me.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
Because he does a lot of the revolvers and shotguns and more of the older stuff,
Obnoxious does a lot of the same things. But see, Sarge falls more, I think, into your wheelhouse, right? I bug Sarge forever. I'm like, Sarge, because I like sharing other people's stuff on my community tab. I think that really helps us along, right? And I bugged him forever. I'm like, dude, do a shotgun video so I can share something from your channel, man.
Yeah.
By
the way, real quick, I didn't know this. I was wondering, I need to send him a text because I was wondering the last couple of weeks where it's been. And I know Rich has been doing the wrestling chat on Saturdays, but Ellis hasn't been doing the Monday stuff. So Ellis is in bad shape. He's having serious back issues. And he also goes on to say that he's going to have a serious back surgery.
Wow. Give him a shout.
Wow. I need to reach out to him, and I'll send him a text and all that. Guys, if you're out there.
Videos, guys. It's the Outlaw Hatfield.
The Outlaw Hatfield, yeah, sure is.
Over there,
there's still more mods out there. Can go get the link real quick and put it in the chat for Ellis's channel. Go just comment on one of his videos.
Just wait. I'm sure he'll get those notifications or something that people are commenting. So send him some well wishes for sure. And I'm glad. Thanks, Rich, for telling us that.
Absolutely. Yes. Sarge says he's going to go do 2 different shotguns very soon for you. He must have shotguns coming in.
Thank you, Sarge. Thank you.
It
took me forever to get you to do a revolver video. You finally did one. So I'm proud of you too, by the way.
I think 2021 might be the year of buying a revolver for me. I don't know which one.
You brought up some good ones in that video.
I did. And
that Smith & Wesson TR8's right up your alley. It really is. I know you like the Night Guard. But
yeah, I do, and that'll probably be the one that I get, honestly. But yeah, there's some really cool ones out there. I love that 454 Casull one. It's bad. I would never shoot it very much, but it's bad.
Right. Right.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate you out there, bud. Sarge keeps trying to get me a GP 100, and that's on the list too. I know that that's one. I really do like that night guard, and I almost bought it about a year or two ago. I mean, we were on the phone at like 2 a.m, and I almost bought it that night.
Yeah.
But we were going through so many different searches and all of that, just looking for, and that was the one that I kept going back to. Man, that's a really sexy gun.
So the GP 100, I don't own a Ruger. Our club had some 22s, and I don't remember. There's what the GP 100, and then there's what's the one SP 101s, maybe.
Yes, 101, yeah.
So I don't know which is which, and I don't remember which one, but I know our 4-H club had a couple of 22s. They were really nice. And I don't know, but I got to play with one Black Friday last year. I got to play with it, and I don't know if it was the 101 or the 100 and 10 millimeter. I think I told you about that. Man, and a dude at that time you could find 40, and I'm not a big 40 fan, you know that. But at the time you could find 40 on the shelf, and you could shoot 40 in that 10 millimeter revolver. And I was like, oh, I'm a big fan of 10 millimeter anyway, and knowing that you could shoot 40, so that gives you an extra caliber in times like this that you could be looking for, right?
Yeah,
that's definitely one. And again, the folks out there may know if it's the 101 or the 100 that I'm talking about, because I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, I can probably promise you it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be the was it the Night Guard?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a sexy looking revolver. Whatever I get, it's going to either be 357 Magnum, because I'll be able to shoot 38 special through that also, or it's going to be a 9 millimeter revolver. I know that's sacrilege for some people. But give me a break. But
you've already got a lot of that in the ammo, right? So I mean, it would make sense for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially right now. I mean, having to go and find ammo, 357 or 38 special ammo, isn't probably as hard as find 9. But I've got plenty of 9,
right.
And so I don't know. I think 2021 will be the year sometime that I will get a revolver. I just don't know what I'm going to go with yet. But it is what it is.
Right.
What pistol has the highest 45 ACP round capacity stock?
Revolver?
Well, no, 1911. A revolver is going to get what, 5, maybe 6 in that. A 1911 is going to hold 7. It's on handgun.
What is my Warthog? I don't remember what the capacity of my Warthog. I don't remember what it is. It's a double stack though. 45. It's 10. It's 10 plus 1. I'm thinking.
Really?
It's 10 plus 1 in that little bitty frame. Yeah, but it's a double stack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, how big is that how thick is that grip?
I can shoot it okay. It's a
okay. All right.
Whatever, a 2011 frame or whatever you call it, double stack. But yeah, it's 10-1. So you got to think that if that little bitty one, subcompact, whatever you want to call it, is 10-1, then obviously a full size 1911 that's double stack is going to be 15-1, maybe more. If you're talking semi-auto.
Yeah, RTAC says the Glock 21 is a 13 rounder and the HK is a 15.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So the HK would be a 21. Is the 21 a double stack?
I would imagine if it's a 13 plus 1,
it
have to be. I mean, yeah, it almost have to be a double stack if it's 13 plus 1. Yeah. Let's see. Buck says he has a GP 101 and 357 mag. Next time we're out shooting, man, next time we come to the range, if you don't mind bringing that, I think, well, just only bring maybe a couple rounds. I don't have any ammo, but if you don't mind, I'll pay you for a few rounds. I just want to shoot that and see what I think of it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be interested to do that. I said, yeah, it's the same size as the 20, which is the 10 millimeter, correct?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Great 20. The G20 is a. By the way, if you're looking to get into 10 millimeter, Sarge might even back me up on that. I don't know, but the G20 I think is a really good start to get into 10 millimeter. You wouldn't think, man, it being polymer, but good Lord, that G20 just handles the 10 millimeter so freaking well. It does. And that was my first, not the first 10 millimeter I've ever shot. My dad's on them, and I've been around them, but the G20 was my first 10 millimeter. And it really got me more and more heavier and heavier, right, into that 10mm cartridge because it just handled it so well.
You don't like 10mm like PCCs, do you? Which is ironic. You're not a big fan of the PCC, but you love the 10mm handgun, right?
I just haven't got into a lot of the PCCs. I've got some high points, and I've got a Kel-Tec, and I've got a few,
Right.
A few PCCs, but I don't have any like AR built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just haven't really got into that. That was all big kind of once I got out of my AR building phase, which I got out of my AR building phase really before the 2013 panic even hit. I was kind of done with that. I'd done built 20 or 25 of them, or who freaking knows at this point. And maybe even more than that if you count the ones I helped other people build. But I was kind of out of that phase by that point. And when the pistol thing come around and all of that, just never been a huge fan of the AR style pistols and that sort of things. SBRs I'm cool with. You put a regular stock on it.
Sure.
I'm cool with a lot of them, but I ain't a big brace fan. I never shied away from making bones about that.
I understand. I've got.
I think everybody should have them. You know what I mean? I mean, they shouldn't be illegal or anything else. I don't have, but they're just not my cup of tea, man. I'd much rather have a regular stock and all. Yeah.
I hear you.
But you've got several.
I do. I've got
quite a few.
Bunch. Yeah. I got a bunch.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of the old paddle braces, which I'm not a big fan of, but the SB tactical stuff are on most of mine now.
I like the blade.
The blade, yeah. It's just
and see, this is my fudness. This is my fudness and me just like not, I mean, I've got a lot of experience with shooting PCCs and stuff like that, but I don't have a lot of it's not like I own them, so it's not like I'm shooting them every day, right? So maybe it's lack of experience from that realm. But I don't have a problem with those blades. And a lot of people says they're crappy and they're uncomfortable and they're blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I think they look sweet. And I don't have a problem with the way they feel compared to any of the other braces. I just don't. Now, that being said, right, you look at some of the Maxim braces and some of those that, maybe because I've shot some of those at SHOT Show and some other places, right? Maybe those are a little bit comfortable, but then you're talking about $300 and $400 for a brace too. It's like, that's a tax stamp and I can SBR it and do whatever I want with it. So I don't see why I would spend $300 or $400 on a brace when that's 2 tax stamps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the reason why I'm not a big fan of the blade is not because of the comfort. I don't mind the way it looks. I don't like the way, I don't mind the way if you are going to shoulder, I don't mind that. What I don't like about it is it's not adjustable. You can't adjust
this is true. This is true.
And I do like being in tight. You know that.
Yeah.
But when you got that blade, I mean, sometimes you're here, and at that point, you're restricting yourself a lot. Okay.
Right. So you're looking at.
I'm looking at the adjustability for length of pull.
Right.
With SP Tactical, I can put it in that middle, and it's perfect for me.
Yeah, and that makes sense. So so with like the blade, basically your buffer tube, right, dictates your length of pull.
That's exactly right. That's right.
Yeah.
And like I said,
if it fits you, not a problem. But if it doesn't fit you, then
if it doesn't, then it's uncomfortable because once again, it's just one of those things to where, not with my ARs, with my PCCs, with even my AR pistols and everything, I try to run my length of pull the same. I have my optics set up, and then basically this, no matter what gun it is, I'll know where my eye relief is going to be. I try to get basically the length of pull, and the most of them, because they're all adjustable, either stocks with the ARs or the SP Tacticals are adjustable. So I'm consistent. I can pick up any one of my systems and basically have the same length of pull and eye relief. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That being said, with the blade, now I can take my blades off. I got 2 or 3 blade gun, and I can take them off and put something else on the buffer tube that has an adjustable buffer tube, whatever. But with that, once again, it just comes into being, it's not necessarily uncomfortable, it's just different. And I like being able to pick up anything out of the safe and know that it's right there. I know where my cheek's going to be. I know everything's going to be because the length of pull's the same. The optic picture is going to be the same. It's going to be the same distance. I mean, all of that is how I like to be comfortable no matter what weapon system I pick up. And with the blade not being adjustable, that's my only hiccup with it, is it's not adjustable. And up until the last couple of years, none of them were adjustable. And so now I guess I'm basically saying is I'm how do I put this? Spoiled, I guess, with the SB braces and all of that.
Well,
yes,
we all find the things we like.
And I get that, but that's a whole extra step. If I want to do that, and I get that I could do a set screw and I could put it in an adjustable tube, or I just go get an adjustable tube and get an adjustable brace instead of using the blade. Honestly, that's probably what I would do. But I like the SB tactical braces. Now, I do agree with what you're saying as far as some of the maximum and these higher ends. And SB is not exactly cheap. But we talk about Maximus and these others, $300 or $400. At that point, yeah, I'm probably going to go and go get me a $30 mag pull stock and get my tax stamp for the SBR and save $150, you know?
Yeah, or do two, right? Short barrel, two things.
Exactly. And do the same thing. So yeah, absolutely.
Look at the amount number of options you got as far as stocks you can use at that point, right? I mean, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want.
This is true. And you and I had this discussion, and I hope it doesn't. But if they do come back and ever start saying that they're going to make you stamp your pistol braces, but they're going to do it for free to do the SBR. And if that is the case, they're going to make it an SBR. I'm going to send in about 10 of them and make them waste $2,000 on revenue they could have had. And I'm going to SBR about 10 different things and say, if you're going to do it for free, then I'm going to do it. And I don't care. I'm already on a list, so I don't give a damn, you know?
I don't think they'll ever do free because there's going to be so many people that game that system, and there's no way to verify and to do it otherwise. There's no possible way. I just, I don't see how you keep people from taking advantage of that and getting 10 or 12 or 20 free tax stamps,
Yeah. We're just talking about the tail hook braces. I don't mind a tail. I've got a tail hook brace, and it's adjustable, but in a different way. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it. I would prefer like an SB adjustable brace on an adjustable buffer tube. That's just what I prefer, because that's going to resemble to me the AR and all of that. So I don't mind the tail hooks at all. But yeah, as what you're saying, when it comes down to we were just talking about
SBR versus pistol.
SBR, yeah. There's no way, because they would lose their ass.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it would take forever. I don't care if they say, well, expedite. It will take forever, because there's a lot of people out there going to sit there and say, oh, I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to be on a list. Secretly, there's going to be 1 million tax stamps being filed.
Yeah. The wait time. No telling what the wait time will be. It's horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible.
All right, we're gonna get the hell out of here. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you. We tried to say goodbye half an hour ago, but
we did.
Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you had fun with this. We always enjoy having conversations. Got to give a lot of free stuff away, and thank you to everyone that's a part of the channel, part of the show, and part of the Ghost Tactical family. We really appreciate you very, very much, and we'll see you soon. Thursday afternoon, we'll have the next episode of the Jarhead podcast dropping. We've got an active duty Marine. It's been overseas combat to Afghanistan a couple times. He's a recruiter now. Going to give you some interesting behind the scenes stuff of recruiting, especially during COVID, which is really interesting, is recruiting during COVID. So Thursday, the next Jarhead podcast will be dropping. And Saturday or Sunday, I had to go back. Sometime this weekend is going to be another produced video. Going to be talking about some survival gear and all that stuff. JMA had sent some gear to get tested, and we did a cool video with it. that'll be dropping this weekend. Did it in the snow this week, so it's pretty cool. If you're on Patreon or you're a channel member here on YouTube, you've got access to both of those already, the Jarhead podcast and the emergency and survival bag gear. They're already over there on both those platforms, channel members and Patreon. You can go ahead and see that. So, but yeah, thanks a lot for everyone for watching. Go over, we're 20 minutes late, but go over to Sandhill Shooter and go check out the Get Off My Lawn podcast. Tell them Ghost sent you. And
Get off my lawn.
great show and great stuff. Clover, you have anything in closing you want to bring up?
No, man. Since I released the video late, I pimped it in the chat out there. So
Fantastic.
jump over there, help a homie out that was like nearly 4 hours late releasing the video. So jump over and watch that.
Yeah. Everyone make it home today, by the way?
Yeah, my wife, her boss, come and got her this morning. He's got like a 4-wheel drive Jeep or something. And then my dad and I rode out and got her this afternoon. I was able to get the car out of the driveway. It's at the top of the hill.
Good.
But depending on the snow we get, it's so low to the ground, I don't know that it's going to work anyway. So we're going to kind of play it by ear. And
we're supposed to get another 4 or 5 inches tonight here. We already got like 13, so it's going to be crazy if we get any more.
Yeah, I'll be through the weekend anyway. I foresee not leaving the house pretty much. But, it's what it is.
That's right. That's right. All right, homies. Thank you. Yep, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. And yep, guys are out there. Go watch some Rambo movies. Go watch John Wick movies, Clover. Go John Wick next day or so.
Somebody email Hulu or Netflix and tell them to put them on there.
There are ways. I'll let you know, but there are ways.
That's true. We need to contact G-Webs. He knows all about that.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it. All right, homies. Y'all be good. We'll see you soon. Simplify.